Hey guys, I'm Forrester here with a review of the Bodum Chambord French press. After I started making coffee reviews, several of you told me that I needed to buy a French press if I wanted to make a better cup of coffee. Well, I took your advice. I watched several YouTube videos about French presses, and I ended up buying this Chambord French press made by Bodum. Now, I bought this particular model because of its 8-cup capacity, which it says right there. But I do want to give you a little bit of a warning. 8 cups from this French press is equal to about 3 of my mugs. Now, I was always under the impression that a French press was just a little too ooh la la for a Forrester. But actually, it's a very simple design. It comes with an owner's manual that I have back here, but you don't really need it. I'll go over the pros and cons of this French press as I see them. Now, I usually steep the coffee for 4 minutes, and it's 4 minutes right now. So let me stop this, and I'll actually go ahead and reset it. Set that out of the way, and let's go ahead and press the coffee grounds. Now I'm going to get started just a little bit, and from what I gather, you do it fairly slowly. And then I'm going to lift this up and rotate to the pour spout. Now, you may not do that, but sometimes I forget and it tends to make a mess. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and continue pressing. There's very little resistance. I'm just going down slowly on purpose to try to not get any more fines than necessary. Let's pour our first cup. All right, there we go. Okay, it's still hot, but let's give it a first taste test. That is hot. I need to let that cool off a little bit. But the main pro for this French press is the taste. And I do think that the coffee has more flavor coming through the French press. I'm drinking Cafe Verona, which I reviewed recently. I believe I gave it a 3.5-star rating in my recent review. The basic flavor profile hasn't changed with this French press, but it's just a little more pronounced. Probably, if you like a coffee, you'll like it even more. If you're on the fence with a particular blend, it may move your opinion one way or the other, having it made with a French press. What I'd really like to do is a blind taste test of drip versus French press coffee. I may do that in a future video. Now, there are a couple of cons using the French press. It does take a little more time and preparation than drip coffee. Cleanup is a must after every single use. This 3-part filter down here comes apart for washing, so it isn't that hard. Disposal of the grounds is not as easy either, and I wasn't really considering that when I bought it. I spoon out most of the grounds into a trash can, and then I fill this container with water, take it outside, and pour it on the ground. With the drip coffee maker, I just lift out the paper filter and put it in the trash. One point that I'm not sure whether it's good or bad is that there tend to be more fine grounds in the French press coffee. You know, they may actually add to the flavor of the coffee, but the coffee tends to be a little more cloudy and they'll settle to the bottom of the cup. The fines in the coffee are a result of using my blade grinder, I think. If I try to get too coarse of a grind, I end up with some whole beans mixed in. If I keep going, the grind ends up too fine and results in more fines in the coffee. Now, one thing is obvious to me. This path that I'm taking toward better tasting coffee is going to cause me to buy more equipment. My next purchase will be a Burr bean grinder and then possibly scales for weighing the beans in the water. Those will be my next Amazon associate purchases. So you may wonder whether I'll get rid of my drip coffee maker, and the answer is absolutely not. It is more convenient and it has a larger capacity if I have guests. I'll use this French press for special blends that I want to appreciate, or just making coffee for myself. I'll put a link to where I bought this particular Bodum French press on Amazon in the description box below. It was reasonably priced. Comment below if you have a French press and any tips that you can offer on how I can make a better cup of coffee. And by the way, in future videos you won't see this coffee mug anymore because it's going to be replaced. Let me show you its replacement. I guess we'll do the official replacing right now. This is a vintage mug, or vintage cup, I guess you'd call it, a Krispy Kreme donut vintage cup. Let's pour the first cup of coffee in it. This cup was a gift from That's Pap's Knife, and I'll be doing a video following up this one on the package that I received yesterday from him. Let's see if it tastes any better. You know, I think it does. Stay tuned for a video on this and other gifts. Y'all take care.